Streamlabs. Oh yeah, but I don't use Streamlabs because Streamlabs sucks. I started out with Streamlabs. Streamlabs was like a great way to start out with streaming and to learn how to use these types of softwares, but I don't use Streamlabs. Is so restrictive. I've got so many modifications and like assets, plugins, I should say, through OBS that I'll never go back to Streamlabs. And if I can make a recommendation to anybody who's been thinking about it to going from Streamlabs to OBS, absolutely do so. It's the same, except it's a lot more freedom, a lot more flexibility. There's a lot more options, things to choose from, plugins that change the way your stream looks and feels and operates. OBS on its own is kind of ordinary, but you hook it up with Stream Elements and start using Stream Elements for all your overlays. It's fucking 1,000 times better in my opinion. OBS with Stream Elements connectivity is the best fucking thing that I've ever used when it comes to streaming. And I can give you I can do a stream one day where I'm doing a full rundown of what I do and how I operate it. Because I've got plugins that have, yeah, it's hard to think about it right now, but woo. Another thing to think about, Trifter, as well, when it comes to having stream setups, whether you're using Streamlabs or OBS, I've spent a lot of time and effort understanding how these programs work and getting all different plugins and making sure everything looks good and whatnot and sounds good. It's not going to make you get more followers or viewers if, you know, there are so many people that have thousands of followers and thousands of people watching their, you know, viewers every day and things like that, and their streams look and sound like shit. So I can turn around and say, yeah, use this, but realistically, I literally lose followers every day. My follower count goes down every day. So I wouldn't necessarily listen to me for stream advice. Maybe for technical advice, but in terms of how to improve your stream overall, I am not the guy to listen to, because for me, it just goes backwards. The best thing to improve stream is backwards engineer it pretty... Yeah, watch streamers that play games you don't like to watch. And that's the other thing as well, if you want to grow... Here's the YouTube moment, right? If you want to grow as a streamer, what you gotta do is make sure you do what everybody else does. You gotta play games you don't enjoy and stream at times that you literally can't stream. I was watching a video yesterday on YouTube when it was the utmost important things you have to do to grow your stream. I was like, what's this fucking guy gonna say today? It's gonna be the same thing that hundreds of other YouTube, Twitch people have made about their channels, right? And he was like, you gotta make sure you stick to your schedule, and you gotta make sure you pick the right times. If you're not streaming at a time when most of your fans and followers and viewers of that game you're playing are able to watch you, what's the even point of doing it? And I'm sitting there thinking, this dude clearly doesn't have a full-time job or kids or any responsibilities, right? You know, he's saying if the game that you want to stream is live and kicking at 3 AM to 12 PM, you got to stream then, or 9 AM to 5 PM. Well, yeah, that's all good, but what if you have a job? You know, responsibilities. That tip sucks balls. Yeah, anyway. That was just my rant. And I just lost a few viewers from doing that, so they probably got the shits and was like, well, this guy's a cranky motherfucker, he's out of here. And another thing as well, they say, oh, you got to look for the games that have high amounts of viewers, but the least amount of channels playing that game. And that's true to a degree. But I'm not the kind of person who will just play the latest and greatest game that's most popular for the sake of Twitch. I'd rather just stream the games that I want to play, because the reason I started Twitch in the first place is to connect with those outside of my personal bubble that like the same games and interests that I do, right? Because nobody I know personally plays Quake or Doom Eternal. None of them. So, the only way that I can connect with anybody who likes the same games that I do is to stream, and hope that people who do share those interests pop into my channel sometimes. You know, that's all I really hope for. You know, if I want to play Quake Champions, those who are interested in it might come and watch us. My Twitch doesn't show me the biggest streamers, it only shows ones that obviously recommends to me, Quake streamers and Doom Eternal streamers and things like that. It doesn't really show me the Ludwigs and the Ninjas anymore. Have you ever watched Ninja though? All credit to the guy, he's obviously one of the biggest names in streaming. But have you ever just sat down and watched his streams? They're kind of shit, to be honest. They're boring as fuck. He just sits there and complains about how much he hates Valorant and Fortnite. It's dude, stop playing them then. Play something you enjoy. Like, it was kind of annoying. He just fucking complains the whole time. I suppose when it becomes your job and you're obligated to play like certain games because that's what drives the most viewership and things like that, there's a pressure that comes with it, right? And if it was to turn around and play Quake, people wouldn't watch him anymore. And then he would stop making the big bucks, so. I went on to Twitch yesterday just to see what was up with like the person who had the most viewers. And it was like 25,000 people watching him play the pokies. I was like, what the fuck are the rest of us doing? Like, people say like, oh, to grow your streams, you gotta study what the big boys are doing. And I kind of look at that and go, yeah, I agree with that tactic, but it's not for me, you know? I mean, yeah, it might work if I was to do that, if I was to fucking sit myself in a hot tub and whatever else. That might be the case. My Twitch might grow, but that's not what I want to do. That's not the reason I started streaming in the first place, so. I'll just stick to playing games that I enjoy, even if they make me insane, like this game does. It drives me fucking mental. But anyway, we're here to play some Quake, because I love Quake, and I've been playing Resident Evil a lot recently, so I'm in the mood for some QC. Oh, yes! That was sick!